Today on Scott Slasher World, I'm counting down the top 5 slasher movie sequels of the 1980s. And real quick, before I announce my number 5 pick, I do want to set a few parameters. First, I have to have a physical copy of the movie to make it into the top 5, so that will exclude a few movies that I was going to originally put in the top 5. Texas Chainsaw 2 was going to be one, and Sleepaway Camp 2 was going to be one. Somehow I've lost those VHS to time. I can't find them. So those two are out of the top 5. They would have been originally. The other is it has to be a slasher film. So I'm going to disqualify the Hellraiser and Phantasm series because to me it's a little bit more supernatural than it is slasher. So let's get started with number 5. It's Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
Vicky's getting ready for the prom.
Good morning, prom queen.
Only nominated, not the winner.
But she's about to get a visit from the past.
I've been seeing things. Hallucinations about Mary Lou Maloney. That girl who died at our school.
My mind plays strange tricks.
It's not my mind, damn you, it's Mary Lou Maloney!
We're in trouble, you and I.
What are you talking about?
Mary Lou Maloney has come back.
It's like I'm not in control of myself. I am afraid I might hurt somebody.
Somehow her spirit has come back from the grave and she will come after you and me.
This is the only thing that will protect you.
Demon, be gone.
Be gone? Come on. You're not leaving this house.
Now, Mary Lou has found her way back. And Mary Lou is coming out to party.
See you later.
Really cool horror movie sequel that really doesn't have anything to do with the original. Besides taking place at the same high school, it takes place at Hamilton High. It starts off with Mary Lou going up in flames because she's not a very good person, but someone tries to get revenge on her and it goes horribly wrong. 30 years later, what happens is she comes back to get her revenge. Very, very reminiscent of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's a cool slasher movie that does have a lot of supernatural, but I do feel like it is a slasher film. Even the back of the DVD says it's like a Brian De Palma movie for slasher fans. Number 4 on the list is Psycho 2.
It's 22 years later. Norman Bates is coming home. And he's back in business. Psycho 2.
An amazing sequel to Psycho. It's been 22 years since Norman Bates has been out. He gets out on parole and he starts him a new job at a diner while running the Bates Motel. Of course, things are gonna go wrong. Somebody keeps messing with him and you think, you know, he's starting to he's already been rehabilitated. He's a really good guy now. You feel sympathetic for him, but all the stuff keeps adding up and you're thinking, is it Norman that's killing or is it somebody else that's killing? Is it all in Norman's head? It's a really cool slasher movie. And it really does do the original justice. And for my number 3 pick, this pick actually could be number 1, number 2, or number 3. All of my number 1 to number 3s really switch on how I'm feeling because all these movies are awesome. I mean, I love these sequels just as much, if some of them not more than the original. So with that said, number 3 is gonna be Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter.
He moves like a shadow, dark and silent.
Sorry you changed your mind?
He never utters a word. He doesn't even seem to breathe.
Where the hell's the corkscrew?
He simply, mindlessly, mercilessly kills. But now, Jason's reign of terror is over. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason's unlucky day.
The final chapter is such a classic. I enjoy this one more than the original. This one stars Corey Feldman and Crispin Glover. You've gotta love Crispin Glover's crazy dance in this one. It's so insane, it makes no sense. I think when he originally did the dance, it was to different music, but still, even with that in mind, he's going crazy. Great directing by Joe Zito. I just love this film. It's probably my favorite Friday the 13th, though like I said, Friday the 13th changes. I mean, I love 3, 4, 5, and 6. I really love 7 too. 10 is a great, fun film. I'm a fan of the remake. So yeah, I've got to include Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, in this slasher movie horror list. Number 2 on the list is A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
It's 1987. Do you know where Freddy is? There's no waking up from this nightmare. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Man. This movie is so awesome. I love The Dream Warriors. It's my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film by far. I'd have to say 3, then 1, and then the others follow. Man, this one, you can just rewatch this one so many times. You got Nancy coming back from Part 1 to help the new kids in Part 3. They're all Dream Warriors with their own special powers, so they take on Freddy. So Freddy actually has a challenge this time. It's more serious than when Part 4 became, almost flat out parody and comedy. This movie, if you've never seen The Dream Warriors, you've got to see it. It's also got the classic song from Dokken, "We're the Dream Warriors." And my number 1 slasher movie sequel from the 1980s is Halloween 2.
From the people who brought you Halloween, more of the night he came home. Halloween 2. There is no place to hide. He will always find you. Halloween 2. More of the night he came home. Rated R.
Halloween 2 takes place right after the events of Halloween. I love the way it picks up just moments later. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance reprising their roles, and this time it takes place in a hospital. And I love the hospital setting. I think the hospital setting is one of the scariest settings because in the 80s and 90s, I was just for some reason terrified of hospitals as a kid. Another reason why this makes my number 1 pick is this really scared me as a kid. I've talked about it before, but the syringe scene where Michael puts the syringe in the girl's temple, it's right after she finds a doctor with a syringe sticking in his eye. It just scared me as a kid so bad. I love this movie. It's got a lot of rewatchability. It's got some of the coolest kills, some of the goriest kills, and Michael is so angry in this one. I love everything about this movie. Like I said, this could, it could be number 2 or number 3 in the list with A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 or Friday the 13th Part 4. But for me, at least today, I'm putting Halloween 2 as number 1 on the best slasher movie sequel from the 1980s. That's gonna do it for my top 5 1980s slasher movie sequels. Let me know in the comment what your favorite slasher movie sequel is from the 1980s. Now it's gotta be from the 80s, it's gotta be a sequel, and it's gotta be a slasher movie. I feel like a lot of people would have picked like Nightmare on Elm Street 4 or Friday 3 or Friday 5. Halloween 4 would have been a good pick. I did want to keep it simple and only pick one movie from each franchise. So that's kind of another reason my picks went the way they did. And I have to have it physically. Like I said, Sleepaway Camp 2 and Texas Chainsaw 2 would have actually trumped the Prom Night 2. But I didn't have them, or I couldn't find them. So that's kind of how the list laid itself out this morning. And before we go, do me a favor by liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell notification so you never miss a video. All right, thanks for sticking around. So I figured that I would show off a few of my latest pickups. First up is this awesome cart. This is the Ooze, and this is a Sega Genesis cart that I got from Welcome Back Collectibles. Man, this is a fun game. I love this. I love the way it starts too. It's so cool. If you've never played the Ooze, definitely check it out. See, next up, I got a bunch of games from the Gaming Company in Charleston, West Virginia. First up, I got Pugsy. I'm digging this game so far. It's like real tiny levels, like they're like puzzle-based levels that are real short. Another game I picked up for real cheap at the Gaming Company is California Games. I just love the cover on this cart. I love the label, I should say, on the cart. I played a little bit of it, and I don't know if it's going to be really a game for me, but I do dig the cover. I also picked up Disney's Tailspin from the Gaming Company. This one was, so far, has been pretty fun. I think I'm only on level 1 though. I haven't made it past, I just kind of played just a few minutes of this one. But fun. And another awesome game, and I did pay a little bit for this one because I had this one as a kid. I absolutely love Rocket Knight Adventures. It's one of the best games on the Sega Genesis. It's worth $35 for just the cart, which is crazy. In box, it can go close to about $75, $80 now. Fun game. I mean, Konami. It's not really a Sonic ripoff, but it is definitely a platformer inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog. It's so good. And the last couple things, I picked these up at Spookables, and I got these for my wife. And it is Supernatural Seasons 1 through 4. Look at that. So now, if for some reason Supernatural decides to not stream, we've got the first 4 seasons to watch over and over again. I hope everybody enjoyed my top 5 list and my items. Leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite item was I showed off as well. And let me know if I got my top 5 right or if I am completely wrong. Let me know in the comments.